One more chance. I'll be whipping on the freeway, the NY freeway, on the Telly with my boy man. Tap hands from left to right. Only got 5 months left to life. We set the night. Better be the Versace store. Let me rub it till I ain't got no more. Only in LA. Russell, this is LA. Rubber than they tummy. Listen, say it's dummy. Then fuck your man. Rubber the plan. Is it your right? Shot fake. Almost going inside. Choose so great. Or do you want to be about 7 bitches? Fuck holy twisted Cali. Great place to visit. I'm going. Back to Cali, Cali. I'm going 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 back to Cali, Cali. Well, all right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping. Marcus J is live. We are, as we say, back in the building. It's been a while. We got a lot that we need to talk about. We've been off the air for a little while, but we are back in the room, in the building, ready to have another outstanding show with the usual suspects. We'll tease it on the other side. You are listening and watching the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. We call it Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. That's me right now. Facebook Live, all of y'all, we are back, and we're excited to do this. So stay with us. It's going to be a hot show.
Open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top stories of the week. It's totally good. Ain't no half stepping. The great Marcus JLIR.
It's not letting me share it. Ain't no half step with Marcus J is live. We in the building. Be down with us tonight at 804-402-2893 is the number to dial. Be down with the flagship show that is live from Legacy Internet Radio. Very happy and excited to be back on the airwaves. It's been a little bit of time since we've been here with you guys, but we're back in the den, mobile den, the new den, whatever it is you want to call it. I'm very, very excited to be back on the airways. There's so much to talk about, and we'll get to all of that as we progress through tonight's show. We're back here every single Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the same locations that you would have listened to us or watched us before. We've got a new partner on StreamYard, which gives us an opportunity to broadcast in more locations than we were able to broadcast in the past. So definitely excited about that. Before I get deeper into the show, I want to reintroduce the usual suspects. You guys are used to hearing them and seeing them next to me and with you all as part of the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. Of course, you hear our brother join us every single week. He is one of our co-hosts on the show. He is my brother and yours. Our brother John is with us tonight. We'll do, homie. What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm just trying to get technically evolved here because I need to go live and I can't go live.
Nah, we gonna get it. We gonna get it straight. You know, we got these new we got these new affiliates with the StreamYard, so it's giving us an opportunity to be in more places.
Right.
But one of the places you used to having us, we're not there, and we'll get it up and running in here.
As soon as Steph gets it, I can snatch it from her.
What? Oh.
Once Steph
Yes,
goes,
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
Good.
I just looked.
So-
You live?
So we're working on getting everybody live here on the den. So first of all, 804-402-2893. If you want to be a part of tonight's discussion, that's how you get on. Call us up. And then, of course, we'll have those streams where you can comment in our Facebook Live locations. We're on YouTube, on our Legacy Internet Radio and our Legacy TV page. We're there. Aint has that Marcus J's Facebook page, as well as the Legacy Internet Radio Facebook page, StreamYard, Simple Radio, Live 365. So I probably spent more than enough time letting you know how to find us. But by all means, like and share and let other folks know. So also joining us, she's our co-host of the show. She is my sister and yours, our sister Steppin. What it do, sis?
Always forward.
Yeah.
Glad to be back.
Yeah.
Looking forward to some live discussion. I haven't had some minutes to argue with in a minute. Hello, fellas. I'm ready.
You ready to rock?
Fine
Here
on
we
all
are.
cylinders. Fine on all
But here we are.
cylinders.
So did you
Brand new,
did you really just say you had no minute?
Yeah, I missed it.
My goodness, my goodness.
Who can I discuss feminism and intersectionality with? John.
That's an easy one.
It's an easy argument.
That's an easy one and whatnot. Well, let's find a reason to get into it. The first thing I want to talk about, y'all, every single person that I know who has seen this new movie, Coming to America, everybody's got an opinion and a comment about it, including yours truly, and I'm sure that you all do as well. I want to know, before I get into what I think about it, I want to know what y'all thought about it, because when we had our production meeting a couple of days ago, you guys had already seen it. I had not.
Seen it.
You hadn't seen it?
No, I was seeing it that night, remember?
That's right. You and I hadn't seen
when
it.
we left, I saw it.
Okay, so you have seen it?
Yes.
And it was John who had seen it, and you and I had not seen it. Okay, so let's get into it. I got some pretty interesting opinions about it. I'm sure you do as well. So open and salvo. What did you think of the new Coming to America movie?
It felt like, and it could be, you're seeing it in a different platform. It clearly was shot with a little bit lower budget, right? But I felt like it was enjoyable. I liked seeing all the familiar faces. Blackness on screen representing. I think the only one I didn't love was the actor that played his son. I feel like the acting chops could have been brushed up a little bit.
He's from here too.
Is he really?
He's from I want to say maybe Dinwiddie. He's from somewhere.
I didn't love his acting, but I liked the movie, and it just felt like it was made on a smaller budget for a small environment. I don't plan on running back to IMAX anytime soon or the theater anytime soon, so I've adjusted to catching feature films on Amazon or Hulu or whatever, HBO Max. That's fine with me. I love the costumes. Listen, these days I'm rooting for everybody black. So let them make some money. Do it. I've watched worse white movies, okay? There you go. I saw The Boy in the Bubble or some Jake Gyllenhaal crap in the past. Yeah. I can support these fellas and these black people making money.
Yeah, what you think, huh? Do you agree, disagree with that sentiment?
I get what she's saying. I mean, I think the budget was actually probably a lot larger. I just think in today's digital market, I think the overall production was less polished, based on the people, the director, the production team from before having done a lifetime of making movies when they came into Coming to America. editing is one of the biggest parts of making a movie. So some of their editing was kind of bad.
The line,
Just editing,
CGI line.
not even the CGI, just in general, just the cuts, the different takes. I think they try to do too much. I mean, like who wasn't in the movie besides us?
It was jam packed.
Yeah, come on, like for real. At a certain point, you're doing too much, and I think they did too much. For what it was, I liked it, but for the same reason they never made a remake before, they probably shouldn't have made a remake now because they should have just did another movie with the same cast of people. Just give us a different story because it would have been appreciated more. To follow up something that has become iconic, if you're not going iconic and better, then don't go at all. Give us another story and you will.
Don't you think like when a movie is a cult classic like that, like this is a movie everybody still quotes. I pretty much think all movies like that, I never really hear that people like the part two. You know, it's like it's so hard to live up to. So I think for me, I just walked into it not expecting it to be that.
You didn't need a part two. It ended. You didn't need a continuation. It ended.
So I'm serious about it.
But he's right though.
Right, so
on this one,
here's what they could have done, right?
Not make it.
If you want to go crazy, do a reboot, do a remake. Make it more modern, introduce
that would have been cool too.
Introduce things that are part of the like instead of him flying, he could have met her on Tinder. You know what I'm saying? Like
that would have been kind of dope. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna search the world and find my queen on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And so
I kind of was going for that.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me a remake and then talk about making 2 and 3 off the remake.
Yeah.
But you can't come back into the live because you got issues. You got chronological issues with the age and who's who and what's what, and then the kid and how old he was versus how old this is and what he's doing and that. It's just issues. It's issues, and then you suspend your disbelief because it's a movie. But then, like I said, you got to edit it in such a way, and then they try to put too much comedy in it. Like it became slapstick, and you don't want slapstick.
But I think anytime you have Tracy Morgan and Leslie Jones, it's slapstick.
Yeah,
but it don't have to be.
Those two people in general.
Right, but they played two major parts.
Except for when they were in the movie that I can't remember the name of it. It was really well done. The Chris Rock movie where he went on a bender where he was at it.
Top five.
I love that movie.
Incredible.
And that they were not
incredible.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal.
Exactly.
Movie.
And you can. It's underrated.
Yeah.
It didn't get seen by enough people. It was one time when Chris Rock was able
to really be acting.
No, he really wasn't acting, and that's what made it good. He was Chris Rock. He was Chris Rock in the movie, and that made it believable because he was just being himself.
I felt like he wasn't goofy.
Because he's not a goofy person.
You know, I think we can take this movie and we can completely break it down point by point, all of the things that were wrong with it. Because there's a lot that was wrong with this movie. It just was. But here's the deal, right? A lot of people ate off this movie.
Right.
A lot of people ate off this movie, and I think some folks. Well, it was made for the theater. It wasn't made for Amazon. The pandemic did that.
Yeah.
You know, it was made for the theater. But a lot of people ate. You know, it was good seeing the characters, re-seeing the characters, you know, understanding what happened with Sammy and what happened with Akeem and, you know, all of that.
Everybody in the barbershop should have been dead.
Everybody in the barbershop should have been dead. Like they all should have been dead. But here if we want to go and nitpick the movie, we can do it. My biggest nitpick of the movie was the conception of the boy. That was whack as hell to me.
Yeah, horrible.
That really was.
That was terrible. You mean to tell me that this man came from Africa to find his queen, and he spent the whole movie pining for her, running behind her like a sad puppy, doing anything that he could do to get her attention. You mean to tell me one night hanging with the homeboy, he got caught up in some weed and smashed and didn't know.
Well, y'all tell us that all the time, brother. So, I mean,
We don't.
People tell that line all the time.
No, we don't.
I ain't never heard it.
Yeah, I never heard that
Just
one.
once, sir.
I mean, trust me, when I indulge in cannabis, I know exactly.
No, not that. I'm
what
talking
that is.
about the one time because he didn't remember and.
Nah, but that was the
everyone.
key factor. That was the key. Nah, I've forgotten a few.
No,
I truly
Promise
did
you,
was surprised that they
never
that was the spin they put on it. I will say
That-
that
yeah,
the
that was
premise
just-
of how she got
That
pregnant.
was dumb as hell.
It was.
It
And
was-
also,
Not only was it, not only
I'm
was it
Leslie
going to
Jones.
tell you what I was assuming, really. I was assuming that maybe one of the babies
all the royal things.
had a kid for him, and then it was illegitimate.
that would have made sense.
Right, so,
That would have made sense.
yeah.
But he wouldn't have been able to go to America to find it.
Nah,
Right.
maybe no, but maybe he needed to come back to America to do something, and then the kid tried to usurp the power. Or whatever.
I don't know that you could have really done the movie without it being the way it was. Like, if the kid had to be in America.
Could I have saved it for you though? This would have saved it for me, right? This would have saved the movie for me, right?
Or else it ain't coming to
Ain't coming
America.
to
Here's what saved the movie for me, right? We were the 23 and meet him, and it's not his son, but the daughter fell in love with him.
That's what I thought was about to
The
happen.
daughter falls in love with him, and this is how he becomes the ruler. They rule as a couple.
Exactly what I
That
thought
would have
was
been the
going.
bomb, in my opinion.
I didn't.
Because they were in
Yeah,
a couple of
yeah,
scenes,
yeah,
like the
that
scene
was
where she
good.
went to teach him about the lion. Their acting
They
came
had-
across like they had
was
chemistry that
romantic.
wasn't.
It was romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, romantic.
Yeah. So I was
Bad acting,
like,
but it was romantic.
well,
But
that's
he
why I was
probably-
bad.
He
acting,
probably
because
liked
like,
her.
what's
He
good?
probably liked her.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J live from the den. Mobile den, new den. I mean, I gotta figure out what we call our space now. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, this Tim man calling from DC. He was ahead there.
What's happening, my man? How you
What's up,
doing?
bro?
Hey, man, bless you, man. Bless you to the whole crew, man. I got to call in and say what's up, my man, Marcus J. As long as I have the internet radio show on that land, no matter where it's at, it's still rolling. So I got to touch you all, brother.
I appreciate you, man. You have no idea how much, how fond I am with you, because you always give me flowers, bro, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
So for any time, brother.
Did you see Coming to America?
Yeah, I saw it, man. Let me say, man, people be saying they ain't like it. I mean, that's their opinion, man. That joint was love. That's a great movie, man. You know what I'm saying?
Down with the people.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed the in bold scene. I enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? Randy Watson, that's my man.
That was the bomb. That was the bomb.
Lil Wayne was in it. Lil Wayne was in it too. The little alien dude.
They look like Lil Wayne. I'm pretty sure it was Arsenio, but
Lil Wayne, my bad.
yeah. Hey, look, who would be surprised? It looked a little decrepit like Lil Wayne. Let me ask you this. Since we got a lot of people that have thrown a lot of shade at the movie, and you know, I got some positive to share. I haven't gotten to them yet, so it probably sounds like I'm throwing shade at the movie as well. But tell me what you think about the people who are giving negative reviews. You got any opinion about that? Because I've been seeing it since the movie dropped Thursday, a day early, and you know, I watched it yesterday, so I had to suffer through a couple of days of that, and you know, we'll get into it a little bit more as we go on. But what's your thoughts on the negative reviews that it's getting? Because you clearly liked it.
Yeah, I think that people, you know, take it from they saw the first Coming to America, they expected the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's generational. Like they have a new generation, so you can't put the same movie out twice. That's like putting Life out twice. Claude and Ray leave the prison to go to the baseball game, they still live 20 years later.
Right.
Like, that don't make any sense. But it was more generational. So for those who didn't see the first one, you know, they can go back and see like if you what happened with this. Big Dow still was kicking. It was like a telling a story, man. Like what happened years down the line. So to me, it was a great movie because you got to understand the first Coming to America.
Right.
And see what they're trying to bring into it. But I like it. I might watch it again today. I like it. You know,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I appreciate the fact that you called us and you shared your thoughts on it and whatnot. You got anything going on you want to share, bro?
hey man, y'all know who it is, man. Say, man, if you don't know, man, I got something coming out this summer. The plays coming back. The family coming back out in the summertime. I got a lot of things going on, but I definitely keep you posted, man. Thank you for all your support, continual support, and I got you back like you got mine. To the rest of the people in the studio with you, man, y'all have a great evening. Enjoy y'all, so, man.
Appreciate you, brother. I got a lot of love for you, man. Be easy, be cool, be safe.
Yes, sir.
You got it. And you know how Steppin, Marcus J, live from I gotta get that brand right. Live from the Den Legacy. So let's get some comments in from social media. So the folks are checking us out. Let's start with our sister Legacy Internet Radio contributor, our legal eagle, Tamika Robinson, checking us in. She said, "Hey to the family, welcome back." My brother Warren Shack is checking us in. He's saying, "Good to see us back." And let me give you your flowers. You know, I had an opportunity to do a little bit with Shaq during the period of time when we were out on hiatus, and you know, like everybody, I was having not the best day. And Shaq put a word on me that gave me what I needed to move on and to move forward. And so I want to get his man's flowers. I appreciate you, and I love you, brother. I appreciate that. Shout out to Big Bro Joe. He's saying peace to the family. Peace to you as well. Shaq is saying that the brother that played Prince Hakeem or King Hakeem's son is actually from Prince George, which is, I believe, that's down there in the Petersburg area. It's here in Virginia. He's from Virginia. My sister, Cuz Terry, is checking us out. She's saying she thinks people are giving the negative reviews and stuff in the past. People will watch Friday the 13th, part 87, and say, she knows you, huh? She knows Marcus. Oh, absolutely.
And what did I say?
But she's right.
I said I've watched some terrible Jake Gyllenhaal movies. Why can't I watch this one and be happy?
Oh, yeah. We got Anonymous checking in saying hello. So peace to you, Anonymous. And Shaq is saying peace. He loves us back. So we appreciate it. Ain't no have Steppin, MarcusJLIR from the new den of Legacy Internet Radio. All right, so let me just say this about the movie, and then I'll give you guys back because I want to be clear on this point. I enjoyed the movie. I didn't want my comments to come off like I didn't enjoy the movie, because I enjoyed the movie. I did. What I did not really care that much for was the rehash of the exact same jokes that we saw in the first movie. It was almost like watching a remake of the movie, and that's not what you want. You know, when you have a sequel, it's very rare for it to be better than the first movie. The only two times that I can think of that in my lifetime of movies that I know well is The Godfather pulled it off and Star Wars pulled it off when Empire Strikes Back. So though, Empire, John, I see you making the face. If you're a legit Star Wars fan, you already know that ain't even I'm gonna let you know. Yeah. Most major trilogies, 2 is always 2 is best. Yeah, except for Matrix. Lord of the Rings, no 2 is best. Different stuff like that. No, I can take it. Ain't no half 7 with Marcus. Yeah, 804-402-2893 is the number down. You want to rock with us? We'll roll with you. What do you think of the new additions to the movie? I know, one of us, I think it was you, Steph, maybe, that mentioned, and the sister's name is escaping me, that played the young man's mom. Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones. What do you think of Leslie Jones and Tracy Morgan?
I think that one of the reasons they pair them together so frequently is very similar comedy, somewhat slapstick, and they're both extra. I'm one of those people. I struggle with Tracy Morgan, to be very honest.
What's happening, Chief?
that mouth, though, right?
I can appreciate the comedic genius of Tracy Morgan, because I knew him when he was just going around the city doing stand-up, and it takes a lot of intelligence to play that dumb.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying
so. And his jokes, he's like a boxer with delayed power. Like, he hit you, it don't hurt, but then a couple seconds later, you wondering why you on one knee. So that's his kind of comedy. It takes set. He's not a good one-liner, but when it comes to setup and delivery, he's fantastic.
I don't have an issue with his comedy, but it's just those. I'm one of those people that's like, he's always on. So like, I'm not gonna watch a Today Show interview with Tracy Morgan. I'm immediately uncomfortable because I know that half the things out of his mouth, and I'm not saying he's not a good comedian or what have you, but half the things out of his mouth are going to be things that I get embarrassed for it. So I just am like, let me turn. So he's hard for me. He's one of those that's like, okay, Tracy Morgan's in it. I'm not going to go to the movie because he's in it. But I will tell you, I think that Leslie Jones, having her late in life come up and doing some of the things she does, and I liked her stand-up. She had a stand-up that was really good. I like her because she's unlikely. She's an unlikely part of that industry. I think if she wasn't a comedian, she wouldn't be famous. They would screen her out real quick. But I like watching her. I think that she, on this part, I think she did a good job. But I don't think it was like these people were given this master script and they had to be, great thespians for the role. I think Tracy Morgan plays the same part everything I ever see him in. The only time I haven't seen it was like, my favorite of him is Hustle Man. I will always go back to him. That is like him at his best to me. I find it hilarious every time. But when I see him in a movie, it's like he should always be the drunk uncle.
What's happening, Chief? That's a signature line. That's a signature line.
Open up with Jack.
But
yeah, I think what can you say about the movie? It was done the way it was done. I am surprised the budget was $60 million. It didn't feel that way to me. It didn't feel like a $60 million movie, and I don't think it. I think it translated better with me watching it on TV than it would have been in a theater.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think if I would have had an opportunity to see it in the theater, I might have liked it a little more.
Here's what I would say.
Just because I appreciate a certain level of size in a movie scope, right?
So you want to see the African dancers coming in on the big screen?
Yeah, it's different.
I think
look, back in the day when they started cutting up movie theaters and make like 20 screens, my TV screen is like one of those screens back in the day.
I think a lot of people watched this movie and was expecting to see Wakanda, because of,
I will agree with that.
Because of where we were in the last few years, when we started connecting Zamunda with Wakanda and using this as like this additional Black Pride that
somebody should have knocked on Marvel's door and got a Wakanda.
Because we had Wakanda, and Wakanda was so great. It was a different tone of movie than what Coming to America was. And we had people who were comparing Zamunda and Wakanda together. So when we had this movie, I think there were legitimately some people who expected that. They expected to get some Wakanda in this sequel. And while I had issues with the plot points and, kind of the rehashes of the jokes and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, that's just being petty. I mean, look, it's a black-ass movie with black-ass people, with black-ass theme, and one of our favorite movies. So while we're nitpicking, I don't think anybody really had that much of a problem with this movie. I know I didn't. I'm literally sitting there, and it's nitpicking. Like, I would have preferred not to see In Vogue and Salt and Pepper because that don't fit. I think that was a little hokey, a little silly. You know what I mean? It's like why are you in Zamunda?
I was more like, oh, Peaches. Because they brought them from Peaches and whatever.
That was funny.
Yeah. That made sense.
That made sense. The dudes from the barbershop. That made sense.
Queens to Zamunda.
You said that made sense.
Salt and Pepper are from Queens, right? Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
But it didn't make sense.
I tell you the Easter. See, I do like Easter eggs. And this movie showed you they could pull off the Easter egg as opposed to rehashing a tired joke. You know what Easter egg I like? I like the Duke's grandson. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
The
Dukes from Trading Places.
You saw the picture on the wall, and the dude was the grandson.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm sitting there trying to figure out is he born in Billy or Randolph's grandson? They didn't allude to which one.
Yeah. And I thought it was funny because I like Colin Jost. We had just, we were on a production meeting. We were talking about SNL and Weekend Update. I thought it was interesting because they made him as unlikable as the Dukes were. Like this, just like so white, so privileged. I love it. I also loved, although it was a blink. I like that Michael Blackson came through and did his part.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
He's always funny.
He's funny all the time. I don't know. I didn't read up a lot on the movie before watching it, but I even thought it was interesting how goofy they got Wesley Snipes to be.
Yeah, well, Wesley was at the time of his life.
He really did.
Let me tell you something.
Wesley was like, what y'all want me to do?
Wesley Snipes' range is so incredible.
Yeah.
He could do whatever you need him to do. But to be honest with you, I love that they had him in there because that's my boy. That's my boy from Streets of Gold. That's how far back I go with Wesley Snipes. And if any of y'all look it up, Wesley Snipes, Streets of Gold. That was an incredible movie. But I think he was wasted in that part. I would almost like to see Michael Blackson play that character, so I would have laughed harder, right? For somebody,
I agree. I thought he was going to be that part,
right?
But
whenever I can see Wesley Snipes on the big screen, I don't got a problem with it. But it would have been funnier to me if Michael Blackson was the evil general from the neighboring country, warlord style.
What's it called? Nextdoria,
yeah.
That was funny.
It really
I mean, ultimately, at the what Aisha said, Aisha Shabazz said on Facebook, you don't like it, make your own damn movie.
Yeah.
I think especially now, especially now, we need some laughter. And if it was just some, slight comic relief, but also I like seeing, Eddie Murphy Productions. I like seeing all these Black people having their seal, Rick Ross, right. I like having the seal on there that we're still doing things. Black people we are the most creative people on the planet, period. We inspire so much. And I mean, you got white folks walking around talking about Wakanda forever, right? So it's just like that for me is like anytime we have something that's cultural and creates another element and dialogue for us, I'm all for it. I'm gonna support it because, like I said, we let cornier things get past.
100%. Listen, if we want to start critiquing movies, I mean, come on, they blow hundreds of millions of dollars on horrible movies all the time.
All the time.
This movie turned a profit instantly because he sold it. He said 60 million. What did he sell it for? 300 million, something like that. So come on. So they did their thing. Everybody got paid. Everybody got paid a little bit more.
Eddie got a ton of kids he got to take care of.
Ain't no problem.
So
Eddie's money is good anyway. Yeah. But he put money in these other people's pocket who needed some change, and they got it. You know what I'm saying? It was real cool. Because Arsenio said it. He did an interview. He said, I'm not in a position to say, if Eddie comes to me and say we're going to do a movie, I'm not in a position to say no.
I mean,
my money, the way my checkings and savings is set up, I can't say no. Yeah. If Eddie said let's do a movie.
It's Arsenio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't seen
back in the day when they had all those rumors about Arsenio, and just showed you how toxic perception is of masculine relationships.
Right.
But back in the day, they used to do what they did with Oprah and Gayle back in the day.
Oh yeah.
That insinuation that it was more than just a friendship.
But you had to be on so far on the outskirts of things because anybody close at all into entertainment, no Arsenio, no, he is not like that. No, Eddie is funny, but really not like that. And it's just like, nah, they know.
I think it's terrible that
Arsenio was known, I won't say as a womanizer, because that's like a bad term, but he was well known in his youth as like the playboy of town. Like
But not even if not.
Yeah.
It's just toxic that when two men have a solid relationship,
Oh,
people
100%.
go there.
Yeah.
Nobody should have to justify. I don't even, honestly, don't take away from my point by even justifying it, because
Yeah,
whether they
yeah.
were or not is not it's not a thing. We should just be focused on the fact that these two brothers have been able to keep a friendship going, and that that's something that I watch a lot of times where it's like. One thing I will say is a lot of times men are really good at maintaining and nurturing long-term friendships. Some of it comes because there's often a lack of accountability within those things. Because sometimes if you tell your friends the truth about the BS they do, you may not keep those friendships
Yeah.
long. However, I do like seeing that, and the fact that they always would cast dispersions on it. It also shows you how far we've come.
Right.
That the '80s, two men having a solid friendship like Magic and Isaiah,
Right.
having a solid friendship, especially being in an industry where they probably, as black men in the '80s, needed that support. Clearly, if you're telling somebody who's making as much money for your studios as Eddie Murphy is, that he can't make a movie unless he has one white person in it or white people in it, like they did with Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
Clearly, those men were still dealing with a lot of the toxic crap that goes on in Hollywood, and that comes with blackness in America in general. And it was black people that were creating those rumors around them and that around those relationships. It's kind of hard to watch that.
I'm glad you made that point. One of the things that I've always said is that one of the most important things that we can see in our community is a black man telling another black man, excuse me, I love you, I appreciate you, I'm proud of you. Positive affirmations. Those are important.
And that thing you said of expressing love.
Exactly. But we have this thing in our community as men where we're so hyper macho that anytime you express love for another man, we put that in the box of homosexuality. Why you tell that dude you love him? You gay or something?
Right.
Or and how you feel about homosexuality is a whole other thing. Which I'm not going to get into here, but I'm not gay. And I'm going to tell this man I love him when I see him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I told Shaq I loved him just a few minutes ago. I'm open about it. Speaking of Shaq, he's got a comment. He's got a couple of pet peeves with the movie, but overall he liked it. He had to watch without trying to compare it. The bastard was getting on my that got on my nerves too. The bastard was getting on my nerves. That was getting on my nerves. He says he's from a single parent home. He's like, nah, check that.
I agree with him, and that's not,
that's not okay.
And it's not for me. It wasn't that particular reason, but it was like it shows you how easily people will try to dismiss someone's value. They were just looking for everything they could to just. I did not like. I felt like that didn't even need to be written in there.
The problem is. We're dealing with the English language, and then we're dealing with colloquialism. The fact that they kept saying that, it was kind of like what they wanted to do was reference the fact that these African people are speaking. They look at terms in a different way. So anyone who was born outside of marriage is considered a bastard.
Oh no, I get it. But
so they were making fun of that. Not necessarily calling him bastard directly. They tried to make a joke. It didn't go over well because of the negative connotation put on